Hello and welcome. My name is Nancy and this is my little spot on the internet where I like to show you all the things that I'm crafting. I love to knit and I love to sew, and I also love to do other things like yarn dyeing and any other craft I can get my hands on. It's been a really long time since I filmed a last podcast. I just have a very busy life, so I haven't had time to sit down and talk. However, that doesn't mean I have stopped crafting. I, of course, am always crafting. I might start with what I'm wearing. This is my vest number 4 that I made quite a while ago. I'm not sure it's cold enough for it today, but I thought I'd put it on while I was filming because, you know, I'm talking about knitting. I made this in a size large with yarn from Woolen Works, and I can't remember what the colour was called, but I love it. I'd really like to make another one of these. I just can't seem to fit it in, which is ridiculous because this is my most worn knit piece. So I have quite a lot of things to show you. I thought I pulled out most of the things that I've made already this year. I have gifted a few things, so I can't show you everything. I also have a little pile of things I want to show you that I'm going to frog. If you follow me on Instagram at unpickqueen, you will have seen one of the things I'm going to show you. In fact, you might have seen both of them. I have majority frogged one, and the other I've just had shoved in a bag since I decided I wasn't going to continue it. I also have some acquisitions and some works in progress to show you. So I might start with my finished objects, and I'm going to start with the latest thing I have finished. These are a pair of, sorry, I'm looking at my book in front of me, a pair of Baby Sock DK version by Kate Atherley, and I made the newborn size. My friend at work is having a baby, and it'll be a winter baby, so I thought she might need some little baby socks for him, and I love them. I made these in a yarn I cannot remember the name of or who dyed it. It was a hand dyed yarn I got while I was in Perth, maybe 2-3 years ago. I made my son a cardigan. It must have been 2 years ago, because I made a size 2 for him, and I'm now making size 4 things, which is mad. So sorry, this was just a little leftover scrap I made these out of, and they are so cute. These were ridiculously quick to knit. I knit one in the morning and one in the afternoon, and there's 2 socks. I will try and make some more for her. I have a lot of little DK scraps, so even if they were mismatched socks, that would be cute. She might not think that was cute though. She's quite put together. But yeah, that's my first little finished object. The second thing I want to show you is 1 and 2. These are a Stockholm slipover I made for my son. I took my son to Spotlight, which is the retailer in Australia, I guess, kind of like Joann's, I guess, and he picked this yarn. I did not love it, and it would never have been my pick, but this is what he wanted for his birthday in January, so this is what I've made. I made the size 4. I have made so many versions of this vest. It is ridiculously easy and quite a quick knit, and he will love it. It's not quite cold enough yet for knitwear here, but it's really won't be long. And then I also made him this version. This is using the Sandra Magalhães Sunday and I don't know, whatever their silk mohair is. And I knit this after the first one in, is it jelly bean green? I don't know. It's really lovely. It's not quite showing up the green on camera that it is in real life, but it is beautiful. I have made my son a version of this vest every year since he was 1, so 3, this will be the 3rd year. And I'm also keeping them in a little box ready for when he has kids. I'm going to take photos and write little cute notes on the back of them. It would be cute if he was a girl and she could keep them and appreciate them more, but hopefully my son will appreciate them more. So they're 2 and 3. And then the last thing I have made for my son so far is this beautiful Celeste sweater. I also used the Sandra Magalhães oh, whatever she calls for it in the pattern. Oh my god, what is it? I don't even have the ball for the second one I'm making. Anyway, I'll put it on the screen here. Yeah, I cannot remember the colorways, but it is perfect. I do love it. I made the size 3. So it's a Celeste sweater by Petite Knit. I originally knit the yoke in the called for needles and then put it on him, and it was way too long. It was like down here, and I had to rip it out. I also measured it in the, it gets you to measure it where it's finished, and it was like 3 centimeters too long. So I frogged the whole lot back to the collar, and then I started again in, I think, the size 4. Yeah, the size 4? Yes, it was. And it fit perfectly, which was good because I am making my husband one, and I'm so glad that I only had to rip back this little bit, not a size extra large. Oh, I'm really sorry about the glare. I have been planning on filming this all week today, and it is really cloudy now, so which is annoying. And I usually film downstairs, but it's quite a dungeon and it really is too dark. So I'm filming my kitchen table. Yeah, and the sun's coming in through the window and it's really bright. But yes, so again, size 3 fits really well. Cannot wait for winter. I do think though, hopefully we have a cold winter because it is quite thick, and I would really be sad if he didn't wear it. Like he didn't wear the last jumper I made because it wasn't cold enough. Goddamn climate change. Anyway. So yeah, so I've made him 3 things so far this year. I have at least 2 more things planned for him, one of which I'll talk about in a little bit, but for right now that's all I've made for him. And then I have made myself this really beautiful beanie. This is the hipster hat also by Petite Knit. I swear I've made more things than just Petite Knit things to show you. This is ridiculously soft yarn. I don't have any on the table. I might just go and get it and I'll show you. Sorry, here I've got it now. So this is the, it was a Claqueton Midlands Merino 8-ply. It's a single origin merino wool from Tasmania in the colour 8800. This is ridiculously soft and I haven't blocked it yet, so I'm not sure if it'll bloom more, but it's perfect. I made this for me. This is the first thing I made for myself this year, well, from start to finish, and I love it. I love the hipster hat. It's a good, easy, just a 2x2 rib hat. Very simple, very quick. So I bought this yarn when I was at the Sunshine Coast on holidays in March. I took 2 projects with me, which I'm both going to show you. One I didn't have enough yarn for, and the second I did not like the way it was looking, so I'm going to frog it. Terribly sorry, my sausage dogs are barking at something. So I made my husband drive us from Mooloolaba all the way to Caloundra, and we went into this little shop and she had this beautiful yarn. I bought 4 balls and only used 2. So I'm not sure what I will make with the other 2 balls. Maybe I'll make another hat matching for my kiddo, but maybe I'll just hoard it for a long time. That's what I love to do. Yeah, but that is that. And then the last finished object I have is something that I've been working on for over 12 months. And it is the soldatona tee, I think it is. It's supposed to be a t-shirt. It was supposed to like finish here. It wasn't supposed to have sleeves. But I live in a temperate climate and I did not see the sense in having a 8-ply colorwork t-shirt to wear in winter, because in my opinion you need sleeves in winter. I don't like the way it looks for people who have posted photos who wear it over a shirt. I think that's what vests are for. So I decided to increase the sleeves. So I did that by simply just knitting all the way straight and patterned, just continued it from when you took the sleeves, and then I just rapid decreased right at the end, so it's a bit of a balloon sleeve, and it worked out really well. I had to do it a couple of times to get at the tightness that I wanted at the sleeve, but it works well. I haven't worn it yet because it's obviously not cold enough here. I also, when I blocked it, the copper bled into the white, and so the white is no longer crisp white like it was. It definitely is more creamy in real life than it is coming up on camera right now. But whatever. The next time I block it, I will be smarter and use a color catcher so it doesn't bleed again. But whatever. I almost cried when I pulled it out. I spent hundreds of hours knitting this and it changed the color of it. Oh, it's my own fault. I dyed all of the yarn myself. I got some 8-ply merino from the Nundle wool mill here in Australia, and I dyed the yarn myself, and I'm very pleased with it. This is the first jumper I have made for myself. I've only ever made myself cardigans, and I can't wait to wear it. Actually, no, it's the second jumper. I made a stripe overload polo knit last year, but I can't wait to wear it this winter. I'm planning on going to the Bendigo Wool Show in July, so this will definitely be coming with me. Maybe I'll make some cool green overalls to go with it. I know, I'm really looking forward to it. Yeah, so they are that's my small pile of finished objects. I've made a couple of little versatile baby vests by Sandra Magalhães, which I test knitted for, but I've gifted them. I've also made a little baby romper dress, also for Sandra, as a test knit, but I've gifted that as well. What else have I made? I've made some little penny gloves. I've also gifted, and I made a keyhole scarf for my mum for her birthday, again, which I gifted away. So I don't have any of those things to show you, but I do have some works in progress that I can show you now. I will start with this one here. This here is going to be another versatile baby vest in the size 1 to 3 month. I've never made something so small apart from those little socks. Now I used, sorry, I've got it in my book here. I used I got it from Spotlight, just a 4-ply baby merino, I think it was called. Sorry, now that Pantone's Baby Dreamtime Merino 4-ply, which is an Australian merino. And then I wound it back onto my Swift and I hanked it, and then I dyed it this beautiful blue-green colour. This is for my friend who also I made the socks for. She did say sage green and I added the wrong dark green into it, and anyway, it is a beautiful colour. It's sort of not quite coming up. Oh, that's about it there. It's beautiful. So I have about 1.5 centimeters before I split the body for front and back, and then it just will fly off the needles after that. I'm not sure whether I will do the underarms and the neck ribbing in white or if I will keep it all in the same colour. I will decide that when I get to it, I guess, but love it. I won't use more than the 50 grams, even if I did the whole thing in one colour. Yeah, so this will be the 4th time I've made this year. I love this, what can I say? The next thing I'm going to show you is a pair of thickmas socks for my husband. So these are one of the 2 projects I took with me on holidays to the coast in March. And I'm such an idiot. I'm such an idiot. I used the Sanders Garn Perfect Yarn after I saw Hannah Graham from Hannah G Knits make a pair for her friend. I ordered them when I ordered the yarn, sorry, when I ordered the yarn for my Celeste sweaters. I saw Hannah make them over Christmas and I was like, yes, that'd be perfect. I'd love to make my husband a pair of socks, but I don't want to make 4-ply socks. I made my dad a pair of 4-ply socks for Christmas and they took forever to knit. So I thought DK socks would be perfect. However, I ordered this beautiful jolly blue, and then I also ordered quite a dark green, and I ordered one ball of each. Can you see my problem? So I got to, not even to the foot. When I was knitting, when I got to about the heel, I said to my husband, oh my God, I don't think I'm going to have enough to make, I know I'm not going to have enough to make a pair of socks in the blue and the green. And he said, that's fine. I'd be happy to have a blue sock and a green sock. And then I didn't even make it to the end. So I still have a ball of blue, a ball of green, and I would like to make him 2 pairs. However, I need to order more yarn, and I bought it from Norway, and I'm not buying just 4 more balls of sock yarn and paying through the eyes for shipping. So I have them on hold, and once I find something else I need yarn for and want to order it from that particular site, I will order more yarn with that, but put it on top. Otherwise it's going to be like $40 shipping for 4 balls of yarn. It would be more in the shipping than it would be for the yarn, which is ridiculous. So they're just in my, I guess they're hibernating really. Hopefully it won't be long before I can find something else to buy yarn for, but also cost of living, so you know. How silly to think that you would get an entire pair of socks out of 100 meters. I'm actually surprised I got as far as I did. They were very quick though, because they're again a DK. Yeah. So then, this is my last work in progress. I've only got 3 things on my needles at the moment, which is absurd. This is a Celeste sweater man. This is for my husband. Again, I used the recommended yarn. Well, actually, it's probably in here that I can tell you. Well, maybe it's not. Honey, Celeste. Terribly sorry. I didn't even go to these that long ago. Maybe Reese isn't in here. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I used the recommended yarn for the pattern. Actually, I think I've got another. No, I don't have another ball. Oh, maybe I do. Hold on. Of course I do. It was just on the couch, which is like literally just there. I used Peer Gant. I cannot remember any of the colors that I used. It doesn't matter. I'm loving it. So I've finished the color work and I've done about 2 inches underneath the split for sleeves. I did sit on my needles and snap them, and I knitted on shorties for like this much, and it was horrible. I do not recommend knitting on shorties for big knitting, especially when it was all on one cable, and it was a nightmare. I kept falling off. I'm surprised there's not more slip stitches anywhere. Yeah, so the only things I ran into was, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, this color here and this color here are they look different when they're apart, but when they're together, they look like they're the same yarn. So I had originally decided that the eucalyptus color would be that beigey color, and in here it just modeled together. So I changed them around, and then just down here, this section of the bluey green was actually supposed to be white, but I swapped it over so that it didn't get lost, and I don't regret it at all. You don't even notice the difference. Yeah, so making him the size extra large and flying through yarn, again, because the Peer Gant is only, it's 91 meters per 50 grams, it just disappears so quickly. Yeah, so with this knit, I am timing every time just making sure my timer's not still on because I was knitting before. Every time I pick it up, I put my timer on my watch and then stop it when I am finished, and then I write it down in my little project book, which I've got here, so I can show you. Oh gosh. So I'm just timing it. I'm currently at 26 hours of knitting. I'm not doing it for any other reason than I wanted to know how long it took to knit an actual sweater. but I'm really enjoying it. So I did the same thing I did with my sons. I knit the yoke in a 4mm, and then I'm knitting the body in a 3.75 instead of the 4.5 and 4. I also didn't do a folded over collar because I don't like the way it sits in everyone's pictures. So I've just done a single 1x1 rib collar for maybe 3 or 4 centimeters. And I just figured if I knit the whole thing and I didn't like it, I would just pick up stitches, cut it off, and redo the collar, which would be fine. I'm hoping to have this done before winter so that he can wear it. I'm also hoping it's cold, or we go somewhere that it's cold so he can wear it. At least he'll be able to wear this for years to come, as opposed to my sons, who probably only get 1 season out of it. Kids grow so fast. Yeah, so I'm really excited to have that done. No, I will not be making my own Celeste sweater. I don't see the sense in having multiple sweaters when it's not super cold here. We have not had a cold winter in at least 5 years, which is so sad. I remember going to high school. I went to a Catholic school, and I remember wearing a jumper and a blazer and a long sleeve shirt and a singlet and a scarf and a beanie and still being cold. I don't know if that's just old buildings, big old brick buildings with no insulation, or if it just really was cold. I remember in grade 9 it snowed one day at school, so snow, hail, I don't know. But it definitely has not done that here. The coldest day we had last year was in May, which is just around the corner, so hopefully it won't be the coldest day in May again. Anyway, now I'm going to show you 2 things that I am going to frog. The first, I'm going to start with the longest standing thing, is my Alpine Glow. So I love this sweater so much. However, I have a real problem with body image, and I'm nowhere near my pre-pregnancy weight. So when I cast this on, I cast it on like I was pre-pregnancy, and it definitely didn't fit. There was nothing wrong with it, it just didn't fit. I also gauge swatched, and I made the wrong gauge for sure. Well, I didn't gauge swatch, I counted it out, and it definitely didn't match the gauge it was supposed to be. And when I talk about one of my acquisitions, it's also an Andrea Mowry pattern, which I've had to go up and gauge as well. So I had knit the entire body and cast off, and had like just started a sleeve, and I don't know, I kept thinking that it was going to fit one day, and one day hasn't come. So I decided I would rip the whole thing out and then I would reknit it. When I will reknit it, I'm not sure, but I will, because I have the yarn for it. I don't know if I'm going to have enough of this, because I've already knit the yoke twice. And this was really hard to pull apart, this mohair. So hopefully I will have enough of that left when I get back to it, because I'm not sure that will come apart. We'll deal with that when we get to it. It's sort of, I frogged the body, and then I needed to be a bit more attentive to it, and I had to go to work, so I just decided I would leave it for later. And now that it's like a weight off my shoulder, really. Yeah. And then the second thing that I have to show you is a Stockholm slipover that I was making for myself. So this is a ridiculously soft yarn combo. It is a Bellissimo and then a Woolen Works mohair, which is so beautiful. I think it was called something pie. Anyway, it's a beautiful yarn, and this soft blush pink Bellissimo 4-ply is amazingly soft, and I love it. However, I don't know if you can see it. You will be able to see it, but see how this color pooling is, oh gosh, sorry. I've got all this color pooling happening here, and it's really hard to manage. I have already broken the mohair at least 6 times between here and here, and ripped back and managed, and I couldn't handle it. It was okay until I got to the joining the whole body in the round and just knitting the round, but it just is too hard to color match, and I think it would stress me out more than anything. And then if I didn't color, what do you call it, color manage the body, I think I would have been really mad and would have never worn it. So I've decided I'm going to rip the whole thing apart, separate the yarns, and then I might use the yarns for a shawl where it won't matter as much because you won't see it as much. I'm super disappointed because this was one of the few things that I started knitting myself, where I've knit for others all year. All year, it's only April. We're a quarter of the way through the year, I guess. So I was quite mad that this didn't work out, and that this is what I took away with me on holidays, because I had other projects that I knew I was going to be able to wear. So it made me quite mad that it didn't work. And I think I knitted it probably longer than, yeah, look at that. I knitted it longer than I wanted to, thinking that it might get better, and it didn't get better. So like you can see the big pinks. I think it because this mohair has quite a lot of just blush pink in it, whereas if it was a bit more depthed, it probably wouldn't have mattered. Or if the yarn was maybe a bit different, the base yarn was a bit different colored. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to rip it out. I just have to rip it out. It's just, I don't need the needles and I don't need the cable, so I haven't worried about it, which is silly. I should just rip it out and be done with it. Disappointing, but in the long run, knitting takes a long time, and you should get it right so that you can wear it for a long time. I knit this 2 years ago, loving it. Should have just knit one of these in the blue that I have planned, which I'm not showing you because it's way down the list. Anyway, so then I have got a couple of acquisitions that I would like to show you. So after I finish my Celeste sweater, maybe even before, I don't know, I would like to make the Andrea Mowry tessellated vest, and I have swatched for it. Sorry, I've actually swatched twice because, like my soldatona, like my not tessellated, that's what I'm talking about. Like my Alpine Glow, sorry, the soldatona is by Caitlin Hunter. Like my Alpine Glow, I don't mid-gauge. So this is the original swatch I made with a 3.5 needle, which is what it suggests. And it didn't meet. I also subbed out the Suri silk I'm going to use in my swatch because when I swatched, I was like, I originally cast on and the Suri silk just wasn't going to meet gauge. So I swatched with a merino 4-ply that I had left over that I dyed in a similar colour, and it still didn't meet gauge anyway. So I went up to a 3.75, and it meets width-wise but not height-wise, but I can manage that. And it meets by like not much at all, like half to 1 centimetre. So I did that, and then I thought, I searched and searched and looked through people's makes on Instagram and on Ravelry, and I saw a lot of people say that if they didn't use the suggested yarn, they used 2 strands of their yarn. So I'm going to do that. I've ordered a second ball of this, and I'm going to use 2 strands of this. Yeah, I do think that this will be, I guess you can't see it here, but it will be a very loose weaved drapey fabric. I can't tell on people's photos. Nobody says anything about it if theirs are also loose. And I guess I'm used to thicker things like this and like my previous Stockholm slipovers. So I don't know how the fabric's going to turn out in the end. I think it will be better a bit with the Suri. Might have more fluff to it. But I'll just have to wait and see, I guess. So yarns, let's talk yarns. I'm going to use this you probably can't see, that's backwards, the sporty 5-ply sport weight yarn, which is an alpaca wool, 50-50 in this taupey color. And then I splurged and bought myself some Spin Cycle in the color Snakeskin. Now this is it's not the dyed in the wool, it's the darker one, the Noctua for high contrast color. Oh no, that's just the so in the Noctua in Snakeskin, I have 2 balls of this of course, because I've already started swatching with this and I love it. And then I have this Surrey alpaca 2-ply by Blackwater Yarns in the color Whirlpool. And they were so kind. They didn't have any in stock, so I emailed them, and I actually thought it was a different color, and they were like, we'd be happy to dye that. And then they came back with, oh, this isn't actually the color you ordered last time. Do you actually want Whirlpool? And thank goodness, because they would have been 2 different colors. And I guess it would have been okay. I just would have used them together, and the other color wasn't, is a bit lighter, but it would have been okay. It would have been okay. It would have been more this color. But anyway, I think this will be a beautiful vest when it is finished. I would like to have it finished before the end of May so I can wear it in Me Made May. I might even cast it on this afternoon because my baby is at daycare all day and I am working a night duty, so I didn't start until 20 to 9 at night. Yeah, so yeah, anyway, and then I've got 2 more things to show you. So I'm going to make my son a, gosh, that tag's dirty, a Park Day beanie by Hannah Graham in the colour, or in Pepin 10-ply merino. In, I don't know, he picked this colour when we were in at the coast and he loved it. So yeah. Sorry, my phone's saying storage low, so I should wrap this up quickly. One more thing to show you, and then I'm going to make myself an alpine bloom hat with the leftover, this is leftover yarn from my mum's alpine cloth that I made her for Christmas, and then in some hand-dyed merino that I did myself. So hopefully I will have some of those things to show you next time. I think I'm going to try and film monthly, that way it's not overwhelming. I couldn't do weekly. I don't knit enough to do weekly podcasts. But anyway, I will wrap it up there because my phone is about to run out of storage. Thank you for watching so much. Leave me a comment. I'd love to know what you're knitting, or if you have any questions about my yarn, or if you have anything to tell me about projects similar to mine. That'd be great. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.